about the island for sure, Don. I've been talking to him for about a year and a half about it. So he knows the lake, he knows it all. I've given him that information. I don't know why you got the impression he didn't, but maybe he wanted to pass that impression on. But he's also has passed on to me, and I guess I'll put this on the record a little bit. The Olin Partnership gave a presentation to the City Council for doing the waterfront. And they put it up on the screen here, and it was extraordinary because they did the waterfront, and like a booth sitting right in the middle of it is the island. And I later learned that the president of the Olin Partnership is fascinated by the island. The one thing that I have been kind of led to believe and understand is that once the waterfront gets done, there's no way that the island will not be pulled into this. It's an impossibility. It's almost, it's not a stepchild. It's a child of the waterfront. So, and again, the only thing is, I don't know where it will go, but I just wanted to pass that on. It's not that Kennedy and the city isn't aware, and has always been aware. I certainly made them aware. I'm sure everybody on this board has. That island is not to be a stepchild, and at one point it will be an extreme asset to whatever happens in this town. That's my opinion.
The way I see it, truly, even though we did want to do something big, with the type of environmental situation you have there and the agencies you have involved, I do believe that any type of development will be very limited. And I think that'll come through Fish and Game and DEP. You know, when you have Eagle's Nest, then you know what that brings. That brings an area that you can't touch. And
well, just to pass on, I don't know if anyone on this panel knows, I was at the presentation, and this Olin group, let me give you what they did. They did Battery Park in New York, which is the same acreage as our waterfront and almost the same layout. They've done the Washington Monument, they did Independence Mall, they did the Art Museum in Philadelphia, they did the Barnes Museum, they did the Philadelphia waterfront. These guys are big for real time.
Right.
And to have this guy say he's fascinated with the island.
And I believe they want us to take them over there in the spring. I know Jim wanted to go.
Jim wants to go big time.
As soon as the weather breaks, we'll bring them over. But, with those type of projects, they were already things where land was cleared. You're talking something a little more unique in the island, and that it's all wilderness. We've got, tons of different stuff. I mean, we'll have to see. I think that we need to get Don's plan and go over it and set ourselves a goal on what we think, in conjunction with guys like Jim Kennedy and these developers, because I do think that any type of island development will be limited. I mean, it is 400 acres, and there's plenty of area to do different things that we can generate revenue, but I don't think you'll ever see full-scale development there. And I do think that Fish and Game and DEP will stand in the way of that. I don't think they'll give those riparian rights up. I really don't, because everything is dollar signs in the state of New Jersey. They'll give them up for the right price, but they're not just going to give them up like they were willing to maybe 25 years ago. That was
99.
Yes, that's nearly 25 years ago.
15.
So I will put this on the agenda for next month, and I would really hope that each manager, I will let Manager Caruso and the problem know, and if Mary doesn't get here, we'll let her know that you really need to go over that thing cover to cover and make notes and take it from there. Have you ever heard back from Erin as far as going forward with what we're doing?
No, I'm not sure what her feelings are since the last meeting and how that all went down.
Okay. Did she ever answer your email, or you thought maybe you had a wrong email address, or she changed?
I'll make an effort.
Reach out to her and find out, because we had started that, and that's about where we finished. What do you want my plan?
Last I talked to her, she was perfectly fine working with us again. It's just a matter of whether it's in the public or the private or however it's going to be done. Subcommittees, break out into small groups.
Yeah.
Put them together or whatever.
Okay. Maybe we do need the subcommittee with small groups so we're not a quorum. And then when the time is right, bring it to the board, and then we because we do need to come up with those goals. I mean, it's fruitless to come here month after month and not have a goal set. I mean, you know, we had the woman proposal that went on and on and on, okay, that's going now. Now we have to take another step, and the only way of doing it is we have to know what we want and what we can do. Like I said, I know how DEP is, and I know how Fish and Game is, and they will handcuff you unless somebody comes up with big dollars and buys their way through it, which I doubt anybody's coming around with. You never know. Nothing's impossible, but when you got bald eagles in the area, it changes a lot of stuff. And it's not only a nesting area, it's a foraging area. So now it broadens the spectrum on exactly, you know, they're going to want to do a study where them eagles are literally foraging, feeding. I see them down at Tenneco. I don't know that they're the same eagles. I can't say they are. I can't say they aren't.
No, it's actually, believe it or not, as of last year, there were 200 nesting eagles in the state.
You know, Hal sent me a report, and I didn't print it because it was a lot of pages. I still have it on my computer. He sent me a report. It had every site in the state of New Jersey where eagles nested. I'm going to print that up. If it isn't too many pages, I'll make everybody copies. I mean, they had it all there. How many fledglings there were, the total, the whole schmear, where the nest was, not where the nest was, the area it was located. It was pretty neat. I still got that. Hey, I'm going to print that up.
Well, I can say, I mean, I'm dating myself here, but in more than 50 years, I haven't seen a bluebird in this state. And I've seen them on the island. In fact, we saw one with an old Native American friend of mine last week, a bluebird in February. And, you know, I think it was probably on what you Marines would call recon, and going to go back and say, hey, there's plenty of berries on the island, let's get the flock up there and wait it out till spring.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that one was smaller too. That
Yeah.
was a smaller size than
when
saw
they
last
did
year.
the dredge spoils, and I think Mike had given it to me, and that paperwork should have went back into the cabinet. It was maybe about 3/4 of an inch thick of all the stuff that they planted on the island, on the spoils. It was all different kind of plants. They had the scientific names. I couldn't even tell you what half of it was. But we'll have to, I'm going to give Tony the keys to the file boxes. I'm sure that's in there. It was thick. It was from DEP. After the spoils were put there, all the different kind of stuff, probably even them stinging nettles that you get, they probably planted there.
I have a report from the Bucks County Conservatory that was done in, I think, 1992, and they did an extreme study on the island of all the vegetation, wildlife. They even did a fish study, and I have a report of that thing. And the only thing I was concerned about, because it was 1992, you know, it wasn't. I was wondering how well can you get a. And that even had how many sturgeon they counted in the river.
Yeah, that bull when we went to that meeting around that time, they said that was one of the things that was going to inhibit development was the bull-nosed sturgeon. It was on the endangered list.
I have an idea for the island.
Stand up.
There's a,
Yeah, come on over and speak into the mic. That way we can.
speak, be heard. Oh.
They won't bite you.
Watch their
It's all
bite.
right.
Not as far.
Yeah, go ahead and sit in the chair.
Yeah, just sit down, Karen.
Just sit in the chair with you, right?
I had an idea for the island. We can make it a nature trail. And where the eagles are, we can just leave that part alone. But we can show, just leave that much alone, but we can show them where the eagles are.
I think you can see it from across the lake, correct?
Yeah.
And you can see it from the King George and from the Bristol side too, and down along the dock and everything. If you look across right now, you can see the big nest up there. What's interesting about that is what I told Scott before, and I think I spoke to some other people about it, is that if you go over the island and you see a bird, just take a picture of it and write down, well, what kind of bird was it, where did you see it at, what was the date, and just start creating a logbook. And next thing you know, you got a regular Audubon file on it, you know, of the things that you spotted on the island. I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right, is there any other new business?
Yeah.
Okay,
I want to hand these out to the people.
okay.
I'm not advertising this, but it's a menu. And if you look very closely under,
Oh, no, you gotta be kidding. Hey, you know, I heard this, my brother gets steaks from over there. He said it's pretty good. Have you ever tried this place? Catty corner from my old gas station.
Oh, no, I've seen that, I remember the name.
Burlington Island steak.
I'll set these out here for the public to either pick up or they can review if they want. The city steaks now, they have a Burlington Island hoagie on their menu now.
Oh, really?
What's on it?
And it's very good.
Dirt?
It's very good.
I gotta stop over there and try it.
For your information, the reason that was created, I spoke to the guy who owns the business over there, because I go in there and I buy their sandwiches all the time. And he was very fascinated about the island also, you know, one of those kind of things. And I told him one day, I said, you know what I'd really love to see is somebody's got a pontoon boat that could move people back and forth to the island, around the island, over to Bristol and back, and make up some box lunches for him and everything. He says, put me down for doing box lunches. He's very interested in that idea. And then about 2 weeks later, when I went in, he says, hey, look what a new menu what I just put on there.
Burlington Island steak.
Yeah, pretty cool.
As long as it's not eagle.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
plants, Matt, don't hurt me.
Any other new business? None, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion so made.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? There we have it.